Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the After Hours Gaming League. I am Laughing Man, and with me, in the top right position, we have the lovely Miva from EA Interactive. Not EA Interactive, EA Games, what am I talking about? And here with me today is MrLlama.
How is it going, Laughing Man?
Good man, it's 6:30 AM. I am incredibly kind of tired, but you know what? Best way to get up in the morning is to watch some StarCraft 2, to play it, be pretty good. And in the bottom left position, we do have from Rex Chapman from the lovely Intel.
Yeah, so we have a TVZ that's going to be on Daybreak. Good luck, have fun. Neither player getting it right. GLHR and GLHF4 coming out from both of our players here. So just warming up. You know, this is the first game of the day. Everybody's just kind of getting ready. Getting the typos out early so they don't accidentally hit R instead of F when they're... I'm not sure what unit would build out of an F instead of an R, but you know, you could maybe do something. I could possibly screw up some hotkey later on.
Okay, like, I was gonna say Forsu, but like, you know, yeah, actually, yeah, it's actually nothing. We have a 15, well, no, we do have a, I think that's a pretty normal drone scout. In the, he's just gonna make sure he doesn't get 11-11, because sometimes you can be playing Harvest Storm, like, yeah, I'm gonna build one of the new units, and then you get cheese, and oh, that sucks.
Yeah. But it's fun because you're sitting there and they're like, oh yeah, I just got this new unit out. And then you send it out and it's like all you've done is tried to tech to the new unit and that's it, nothing else. And and then they just roll in with like a nice composition. You're like, oh yeah, maybe I should mix in new units with other units as well instead of just massing up one of the new units.
Pretty much. We do have a gas coming down for the lovely Miva. So, if you guys didn't actually know, the Reapers actually build without a tech lab now, so this actually could do quite a significant amount, and the DPS was reduced by 1 too, so they're not going to be as strong. And will he actually block it in? No. Oh no, he wants to try and block it as much as possible.
It was reduced by more than 1 actually. The Reaper's damage used to be 4 damage, then +5 to light. However, they adjusted the Reaper. They did a lot of things to the Reaper. They adjusted the Reaper. First off, it can be built without a tech lab, so you can also have double coming out from a reactor. Secondly, they removed the combat awareness, but they adjusted the damage to now just 4, purely 4, so there's no additional to light. And so it does just 4, but it has 2 shots, so it does 8 damage a shot now instead of the 18 damage that it used to do. So damage definitely decreased a lot right there, but they also got rid of the speed upgrade, and now you get that upgrade automatically. So I don't know, I mean there's a lot of things they did. And look at this positioning here by Miva. I'm not sure I like this because it kind of breaks that wall. Oh, he's going to actually go ahead and fill in that wall, I'm assuming. Well, he's going to expand now, but I'm assuming he'll just go ahead and fill that wall in with a supply depot, and this way he cannot get busted and lose his reactor.
That's always incredibly frustrating. Well, actually, Rex Chapman is constantly being really annoying with this. And by the way, guys, if you didn't actually know as well, another change to Terran is that Siege mode now requires no tech lab. So as you can see here, actually,
See, a tank requires a tech lab, but Siege mode does not require a tech lab. So once you get a tank out, immediately. And look at the extractor canceling going on here from Rex Chapman. I think this is like the 9th time this extractor has been canceled. And the great thing about this is it takes 3 Marines to kill an extractor being built, like to damage it more than it's growing. So Rex Chapman, by constantly doing this, is going to forever be able to do that until a 3rd Marine, there we go, finally going to head over there to join it, which can now finally kill it off. So no gas for a long time right there. However, we do have Miva with these Hellions. I was about to say Hellbats. The Hellions now out on the field, and Hellbats also received a big change.
what actually was their change? I believe that, I know that attack speed got changed, but...
They adjusted damage slightly, they adjusted the range a lot, so damage is increased. They don't have damage versus light, I don't think now, but they just have more damage instead, something like that. And they, and then their range went from like 110 to 45. So they want them to be more like front of the line. I forget exactly the reasoning. They were saying something about they want them to be be more just front-of-the-line fighters. I think they also got like a boost in HP, maybe. Something like that. I can't exactly remember. Yeah.
Back in Camp Rex, we do have a Roach Warren and a Evo Chamber coming down. Obviously wants to get those ups as quick as possible. Now going down, like we've actually, yeah, he actually went into gas for a little bit and took some out, but then eventually he's going back into that gas. So I think we might see some 3 gas gases come up relatively quickly. Maybe we go to that new Mutalisk transition. I know that they've got that regeneration now. It's super, super good and so hard to deal with. And he's getting some wings out, and he's got speed, so that means if he does get a considerable amount of them, he will be able to surround this. But whoa, a lot of Hellions coming out right now as well.
Yeah, there are right there. So Miva's going to be able to just sit here and continually try and deny this creep as much as he wants. As you can see, Rex, it's trying to spread this out, but he's pretty much stuck in his natural at this point. Any creep tumors going to the third right there just got denied off, or just got picked off. And yet again, he's going to get in here and try and burn off all these tumors that are being laid. So very nicely done by Miva to go ahead and deny that creep. And now Miva back home taking a third base, and he has the Raven out, which also received a buff. Do you remember what that buff was?
That was the Sick Missile no longer requires an upgrade. And also, looks like I got some roaches here to clear off these Hellions. So these roaches, get off my lawn, you darn kids. And they're going to be running away. And yeah, so at the moment, I think definitely, I think Terran is in probably a very solid position. Miva playing, I really like just the harassment in general. Just, if you look at it, like, at here went for, I think, 4 queen opening. Yeah, 4 queen opening. No, 3 queen. Whoa. I don't know, the Croup series seems a lot better for some reason. Maybe Rex Chapman's just that good. By the way, guys, if you didn't know anything, here's a bit of a trivia about Rex Chapman. He actually did play in GSL Off the Record. And if you guys haven't seen it, I would definitely look that up. A bit of a gay eye there. But Rex Chapman actually lost Marine King Prime wearing mittens. So...
Yep. And that was Marine King Prime wearing the mittens. I actually went and just watched the game a couple of hours ago. And it was pretty funny, I'm not going to lie. Because Marine King Prime has these like yellow, bright yellow mittens. And here at third base tonight. But he has these bright yellow mittens. And he's like trying to poke everything. And it's just all over the place. Yet he still wins in like 12 minutes. And he's still like microing these Marines and Hellions around and everything like this. Wearing mittens. So I mean, just ridiculous.
Man, it's Marine King Prime. He can just, it doesn't really matter, even if it was blindfolded. It's like, it's okay, I remember the way, and he just kind of guides his units through microing and shell shots and everything. It's pretty easily for him. And +1,
exactly.
Ooh, interesting. +1 actually finished for range attack, so that means we might see some, like, maybe committal roach aggression, perhaps?
Possible. We might also see some, I always forget the unit's name, Swarm Host. Very possibly. Of course, that would pop out when he gets
the little locusts, they scale on the upgrades, do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. If they do not, no, I think they do.
As well.
I think they do. So here we have a lot of Hellions, and now some Banshees heading over as well, and there is not any anti-air. A Hydralisk Den now coming down actually for Rex Chapman, so he's definitely going to want to have the Hydralisk Den. But look at this. With the Raven, he can now deny all of the creep that has just been freshly laid out there. All of the creep tumors can go down, and these Hellions can get over there as well. And I mean, it's just all going to be burned away, and there's nothing right now that can be done against this because there's no anti-air on the field except for a couple of teams.
Oh, Seeker Missile coming in.
And Seeker Missile.
Wow.
Ooh, nice hits.
That was actually
right. So they actually did change the Seeker Missile a little more besides the no upgrade. Additionally, now it has it does 100 damage, splash damage upon contact, and instead of previously when it was just, they had changed it so it was like 300 damage to one unit. Now it's back to splash. It's 100 damage, but you can outrun it. So it takes 5 seconds before it goes after the unit when it like sends it out. So you can grab all these roaches and like run them out of the way. And if you go past, I forget the exact range, it'll actually just fall down and be dead and not activate anymore. So it's kind of a different spell at this time. But as you can see, we can do a lot of damage there. I mean, those roaches took a big shot. So if you had like a couple of Ravens to launch this off, that would have been extremely deadly.
I'm just like really crazy. This attack is actually really hard to deal with. Like, got the Raven constantly denying creep spread, so he can't have like the crazy mobility that he wants. Hydralisks are coming out now, but are they really going to be in time? Got some really good upgrades though. But wow, there's actually five or six siege tanks right there, and all the drones getting lined up.
Yeah, they just absolutely got toast right there. The siege tanks now, of course, without the necessary siege mode upgrade, can automatically just siege up. They're going to siege out the third and probably just take this out as well as take out some other things. But there's a counterattack actually by Rex Chapman over to the main base right here. And there's not too much here to defend. An auto turret is placed down. There are a couple of tanks up top, so they're going to be able to do some serious splash damage right here. And this is something that Rex Chapman definitely wants to deal with. In the meantime, the third base is still under fire, so that's most likely going to go down here. And it doesn't look like these roaches are really going to be able to clean up too much.
There's a lot of economic damage though, and I don't know, it's just him sieging the third right here is just the perfect position because you can't really break this.
Yeah.
Especially like Roach Hydra against tanks, you're not really gonna have a good time. And look at that, even a missile turret, that's so cool. Just for that burrowed Roach. I mean, there is the Raven there, but if that gets picked off a missile turret, it's a a pretty handy way just to double, make sure 100% that you even the point defense drone as well. And he's slowly tank pushing. There he goes, he's actually engaging, he's actually target fires the tanks. Really good move here, but is it really going to be enough right here? Oh, actually, nearly all the tanks go down, and he's using the Hellions to actually buffer as well.
That was very nicely done. No, I mean, he was about as cost efficient as he could be. It looks like Rex Chapman will be able to at least break the siege contain, but of course there's still the Banshees, still the Raven, and the Viking right there. No Hydras on the field yet for introduction, so once those get out, they'll eventually be able to head over. But I mean, I don't know, actually. Look at the worker count. Miva is at 44 to the 59 drones here of Rex Chapman, and this is because there were a couple of roaches over at the third base of Miva that were just sitting there picking away at SCVs nonstop. So he was able to do some decent damage, and now Miva has stopped SCV production, and that could be costly in the future.
And is there anything changing from Hydra lately? Because I believe that the it's good in the Hydra, and it's actually find out.
The
Oh, yep,
Hydras
exactly that.
just have...
That's a lot of money,
What?
150, 150 for that speed upgrade on creep. On
Yeah.
not on creep, I should say. So that means they're
Yeah,
not
off
god
creep.
awfully slow and take a year to get anywhere.
It's worth it. And of course the problem was with Hydras, when they didn't have that off-creep movement speed, you just could never retreat with them. And so if you ever engaged in an attack or if you were off-creep, it just never was worth it. But Miva looking to attack right here.
Yeah, and the third and fourth base is coming down at exactly the same time. I really kind of like that, but again, I just don't think this army is really big enough to really engage. Like, I mean, you're about to be on creep, you get a lot of queens for transfuses, and here they're about to go for it. No, he decides to back off. That third base will be cancelled. And looks like it now, what that drone does, rest in peace.
And more roaches sent over to the third base right here. So Rex Chapman yet again doing some more economic damage. He is going to be losing that fourth base, or his other third base, I suppose you could call it, in front there. But I mean, he has done a lot of damage, picking off so many SCVs, doing a great job just denying his opponent there. And now he's going to go ahead and just about get his third base up in the back.
Wow, that's damage so much right here.
Yeah.
It's just, this is actually like really cool, just like composition, because like you can't really engage and you do so much damage, and the planetary finishes and he has to kind of retreat, because that planetary is a lot of damage.
Yeah, so I mean, he's definitely down on workers still at this point. Rex has done a great job denying him that, but the problem is Rex just hasn't been able to get up to any sort of composition that he can really engage these siege tanks with. And I think if he moves up to Hive, and I know it's tough right now because he's just working off these two bases, you want to get a third base at least, if not a fourth base, before he moved to Hive. But I mean, getting maybe some Vipers out could be huge, so he could pull these tanks away, getting some Infestors, getting some Swarm Hosts, which he's doing now, Ultralists, which are amazing units now in Heart of the Swarm, because they have...
It's actually dropping mules on the to repair everything. That's awesome.
And those are not Manor Mules, those are just repair mules, which I completely agree with. I think that's a very smart move. And really so cool, much damage
as well. Wow, that was cool. And the Locusts do actually scale with the upgrades, guys, so I don't really know, like, can he really break this just with a couple Swarm Hosts?
He's going to have a lot more than a couple Swarm Hosts. I feel like this isn't a ton of tanks. If he splits and comes from both sides, he should be fine to go ahead and break this siege line. But I mean, he's just sitting here waiting at this point, and just building up the Swarm Host count, which isn't a terrible idea, because of course Swarm Hosts produce those Locusts, which are free units. So, you know, if he can get enough of those out, he can be in an okay position. And
Oh, and
here he's
he's
probably
gonna
going to
go
have
for it.
to.
Even brings some drones.
Yes, he is. The Swarmhost starting to burrow. There we go. Finally going to burrow them now. And he engaged in a very, very tight choke right there. And his other units never even came in to fight. His flank never quite got there. It eventually does. He eventually breaks it. And he's not in the worst position. He lost a lot of units right there, I will be honest. But he's still okay at this point, I feel like. He has a lot of swarm hosts, so now he can go ahead and get in a good position. And once you're in a good position versus a mech army, it's very tough for that mech army to go ahead and move forward and break out. So I really like this, and he's going to go ahead and set up his swarm host and try and take a fourth base.
You know, I really kind of like that because now he's got the swarm hosts on the field. They're going to be just they're kind of going to be the mech army in general because you know that in the mech army I can't really engage it. You have to be really cautious. It's going to kind of be the same thing now. But
Oh, he
again, you
needs to
actually
get them.
do have the Ravens out. If they're actually out of position, oh no! And here it
Oh
comes.
my goodness. He just left all of the swarm hosts right there in a lot of trouble. Now the siege tanks are going to go ahead and get sieged up. The swarm hosts are going to start peeking away, trying to do a little bit of damage.
And he target
But these,
fires the Ravens.
oh,
Perfect.
very nicely done. Beautiful, beautiful job right there. Of course, he can use a scan, which it looks like he's using a scan somewhere. But now he's just going to go right around to this third base. He had a counterattack, it looks like, by Rex somewhere. So he was taking
Right
out
down
some
the
turrets,
the
SCVs,
new the
but
new fifth base for the Terran.
okay, but we still need to protect our third base, Rex, and it looks like we're going to have Miva get in to a pre-siege up position. We feel like the roaches continuing to counterattack over here at the third base. So both players are going to be losing their third bases right here. And the swarm host now being pulled back. Some roaches being put into a position to flank as well. So Rex may be going for it here pretty soon.
I'm actually not sure if you saw that, but that was like the coolest death animation. One of the roaches got killed and their body fell down that little crevice. That was like really awesome.
He fell down the crevice where? Like down the middle?
Yeah, then
Or
that
down,
little.
down the cracks? That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so cool. I wish I could see that. And here it looks like we're going to go ahead and have the roaches coming in to engage. They should come in a little bit before the swarm host, though. Take a decent amount of damage. He's trying to catch his opponent off guard right here. He is unsieged. And GG from Rex Chapman. He just simply does not have enough left, it looks like. So that's going to be game number one right there. Wow.
We're actually